This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, April 3, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a reverse aging health call tomorrow night after 9:15 p.m. and I have a special guest on there. Excuse me. And we're going to talk about the death frequencies of the civilization, what's going on, and how we can countermind it so that we can stay in these bodies long enough to experience the celestial chamber. That's the whole key, basically. Everybody I've talked with, that's what they want. This universe is responding to the vibrational attitude that we are emitting, or you are emitting. The more joyful we are, the more well-being flows to us. That seems pretty simple, doesn't it? You want to make sure that you're in a comfortable position with no outside interference, relaxed into your body, still as a statue, focus on your breath rising and falling. So we choose. You can choose to be joyful in the middle of a storm in your life. You really can. It isn't, would I say that it's a cinch? No, I would not say it was a cinch. Because of how things are ingrained with us. You put forth the effort to shift yourself to say, I'm deciding to be joyful, happy. No particular reason. And of course, the ego mind will pull you back into that muck that none of us are exempt from it. We get pulled into it. Even though we know that that's not what we care to experience at that time. So we say, I'm going to be happy, joyful. What is there that can help us move ourselves there? Gratitude is a huge one, because you stop yourself, whatever's going on, and you say to yourself, I'm deeply grateful for this very moment that I am in. Even though that things seem absolutely screwy, okay? And I know that's difficult for many, just to do that. But you'd be amazed that the first round of it isn't really comfortable. It's taxing on some people that will do that. But as we do it more and more, it becomes more with ease, because we countermine the fact that the ego mind, worried, stressed, fearful, anxious, all of those things that we all have experienced more than once. You know that you have the power, that you're the director, the producer, everything of your movie. So you know that you decide to be happy or joyous for no real reason. You help yourself by being in deep gratitude, which actually moves you out of the ego mind. And just like in these meditations, we move into the now. We practice being in the now. That's it. If we don't do that, which the majority of people on this planet do not do that, they're in ego mind. They suffer 24/7. Those of us that are certain, we've gotten to the point after so many lifetimes of comprehending the fact that we direct things, okay? Through the heart mind. We use the heart mind to master the ego mind and to master our thoughts. So you can see how impactful the heart mind and how powerful the heart mind is. And our, you could kind of call it a booster rocket, right? Booster power. When we move into gratitude and we move into joy and happiness for no particular reason, just because that we happen to be in a physical material body still, that, we can see, we can hear, we can touch, we can feel, we can experience. That's deep gratitude, that we have that. Because we all know that when we leave these bodies, we don't have any of that. None. You imagine that? Just for a moment. That when you leave that body, you don't have that tactile, the emotions. It's not there. It's not there. I mean, your pure love, your deep eternal love. But we don't have that to touch, to taste an orange, to smell pine scent in the air from the pine trees, whatever it may be, sea air from the ocean. We don't have those senses, so to speak. And this is why we go into these physical material bodies, because we have access to that. That's huge. That's what gets us gods to continually reincarnate, because we like it. It's great. There are those that, in existence, I will say, that they're physical in a way, but imagine being physical, organic, right? But not being able to experience emotion. Wouldn't that be wild? We would be in physical, right? But we were not able to experience all the emotions, the love, the joy, the discipline, all of it, okay? That would be really tough. And there are beings like that. They don't have that available to them. So when we're in these bodies and we know that we can, and we know we're God the body, we don't know, we aren't fully embraced with the God that we are. We do know, though, through heart-mindedness, that we are the God in the body, that we're omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant beings that never die. We become manifestors when we enter these bodies, say. We use these bodies to assist in manifestation. So you focus your attention, you create. It's real simple. You don't, wherever you're always focusing your attention somewhere. Could be you. You could be focusing your attention with you. And that's why I constantly am saying, every day, be kind, gentle, humble, and generous with yourself at all times. Don't ever get hard on yourself. Really. It's not good. No matter what goes on. Right? We do have the propensity to blame ourselves for things. Right? Well, it's probably me, or, why did I do this? And we get in, some of us will get into depression, and we'll get into conflicts with ourselves. Some of us will spiral out of control emotionally because of something that we believe is our fault, right? And it eats away at us. And sometimes it can cause us to go way down, way low. Always forgive yourself. I'm not talking superficially. Always forgive yourself. No matter what it is. Some could come in, this happens, the subconscious mind plays back something from your past. Okay? You could be doing anything, brushing your teeth, whatever, and it comes in. And if it might be something that wasn't really pleasant or fun for you. And instead of just suppressing it, shoving it back in the closet, you forgive yourself, number one. And you just say, love, 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 love. And it fades out. What did it need? It needed forgiveness and love. And a lot of us will think of something, right? Desire, dream, that's just too big for you to achieve. I don't believe that there is anything too big for us to achieve. A lot of us will try to wrap our mind around it, but the mind is too small of a container to comprehend it. So it kind of gets a little befuddling. So whenever we want or desire something, we do it in detail, because I can guarantee you, if you aren't detailed, okay, you'll manifest it, but it's not going to be the way you thought it was going to be. It will probably be better, say. But if you miss some things, it's amazing. You could miss a few things. And it's not a big deal. You miss a few things. But so you tell the universe, share with the universe that this is what I want. But you missed a couple of things. And so when it manifests, you go, wow, this is different than what I had asked for. But it's still phenomenal. And it does sound kind of a little strange that we have to be so detailed, but it's true. Remember, the universe is doing everything for you and not like at you, to you. It's not doing anything to you, it's doing everything for you. And you can like I said, you can communicate with the universe 24/7. It's wild, but you can. And it will throw things your way. And you might think, well, maybe this is a test. Maybe I'm being tested for something. Kinda. But it's what you need at the time. It knows better than we do. It's what you need at the time. It may be something that it wakes you up a little bit, or kind of throws some cold water on your face, and you take a different direction. It's really interesting. It wants everything that you want for you. You see, we spend so much of our time in that physical material world. None of us are exempt from it. We all do. We like it. We spend a lot of time in it. And we do, of course, gravitate away from who and what we are and what's inside of us, because we're so preoccupied with all of these other things. You've ever said to yourself, someday, the famous someday, all of us, I think, at one time, shape, form, or another in this life alone, will say, someone might say to you, so Mary, when are you going to do that? And Mary said, she responds by saying, well, someday I'll do it. And unfortunately for all of us, that someday never comes. We don't ever do it. We say someday, but we never do it. And we end up leaving the body and not ever doing it. So whenever you come across something that's a someday, that you say, someday I want to do this, or someday I want to be able to do that, check yourself. All right? And say, when am I able to do this? It's up to you, see. It's not up to anybody else. It's up to you. So you won't say, if you catch yourself saying someday, you want to kind of reflect back and say, we got to change that. I don't care to give that to the universe someday. I'm going to set a date where I will do it. So you commit. Doesn't have to be right then and there. But you commit and you follow through with it. It's usually something that you would like to do, right? But you just never end up doing it. It's not really like a bucket list. It's more like you just never end up doing it. There's a lot of some days going on in this country alone right in this very moment. A lot of some days. And we have the opportunity to shift that to actually doing it, make the commitment to ourselves and say, on June 12th, I'm going to do this. And it could be anything. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering. And when you say to yourself, okay, my intention is this, and you have no doubt at all, zero doubt, you've got 100% faith, 100% trust, 100% confidence in yourself and this universe, it's going to happen, period. It doesn't matter what's going on around you or anything. It's going to take place. It's going to manifest. Because you're doing it from heart-mindedness. You're not doing it from ego mind. Ego mind really muddles it up. Now, one of the nice things that's happened to us as a people on this planet, let's just say here in the United States, we don't watch as much TV anymore. Isn't that wild? We don't. We spend more time on the internet, of course. More time on the internet. But we don't watch. We choose what we want to watch. And it isn't TV. And that's healthy. I mean, 21 years ago, we were watching 170 minutes of TV a day. How many hours is that? Wow. What is that? 170 minutes, 60, almost, well, let's say 3 hours, roughly, of TV a day. That's a lot of TV. And that was 21 years ago. Now we have the flexibility to choose what I'm going to go over here and we have live stream. So we can pick things. You want to watch a movie that's from 30 years ago, you can find that movie with no commercials and watch it. You don't have to pay anything for it. We're still caught up in, the things in this society, the things. And when we are engaging in any activities that are leaking our manifesting energies, we are probably experiencing what it feels like to run up a mountain of molasses. Picture what that's like. And slipping back down. If there is one thing that is 100% certain in this world, it's that our entire life will change when we truly shift our mindset. Shifting our mindset. It's how we perceive. It's how we look at things. It's how we respond. Because every one of us is different. Little bit. Some hugely, others very lightly. So what is changing your mindset? You take your focus off of things that you really don't care to spend energy on, but you do. Okay? And you say to yourself, I can focus on anything and experience that. Any of us can do that. Whatever we focus on, we experience. It's a state of mind. And you can kind of, you first set this. sacred intention every night before you go to bed that you're going to have a highly charged, emotionally joyful, playful, and deeply inspirational approach to the following day. That's it. So this is an intention, and it needs roots and wings to really get your manifesting engines roaring, which is why we've created the interpretation and comprehension that you design, build. I should say you develop, you design, you build. How you want to view everything. How you're going to view it. So you become focused purposely. And it's such a vast array of many different things. You focus on what it is you want. Could be anything. We're not talking about fixation. We're not talking about obsession. We're just talking about confidence, trust, and faith in ourselves and the universe. That's huge. I've had people ask me, well, can you really talk with the universe anytime you want? Kind of seems strange, you know, I'm this little ant and I look up at the sky and you see this huge universe. Doesn't matter about your size, it really doesn't. It matters what's inside that casing. It really does, that's what matters. And our acknowledgement of who and what we are. And the grand design of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Who designs all this stuff? Really? We do. The collective consciousness. We're a collective. There could be 10 of us here on the planet. That's a collective. You know. 8.5 billion, that's a collective. 100,000 trillion, that's a collective. You know. Quintillion, that's a collective. But see, on this planet, we're not, all of us are not in sync. Some of us are off here, some of us off, some of us off there. We aren't uniformed yet. That's why when you get a group of people that are all in sync and they focus on something, right? Let's say that someone is injured in the hospital, okay? And you have a group of people, we're not talking religion here, we're talking spiritual. You have a group of people that comprehend the fact that the God within that body, the body is in trouble, and you communicate with the God. So the gods that you are in the body communicate with the God that's in that body. See? And it is a proven fact that many of us who were in physical danger, sitting in hospitals, intensive care units, and so on and so forth, came right out of it. See? Heart-minded, focused on the well-being of that God's body. Remember, whatever we put our attention on, we create. It's been proven thousands of times. Wherever you look, particles begin to appear. So doesn't it make sense that you have a body that is in danger of ceasing, and you have a God within that body, and you have a group of people that know exactly what to do. We used to do that. We had a group of people, right? Not a huge group, not, 50, 60, but a handful, half a dozen or so. And we literally did have people ask us. At times we would go in intensive care units and we would focus on that God's body. Okay? It wasn't prayer. Okay? It was our collective consciousness focusing on healing that body. Or I guess you could say re-energizing. And it worked every time. Every time. Now, when it didn't work was when that being wanted to leave. You're not going to stop that. No matter what. That is the freedom that we all have. And at times there were those that they didn't care to stay. They wanted to leave. And so at that point, you know that. You pick that up because we're all connected anyway. And then you withdraw. And they leave. But a lot of people don't care to leave. And they don't. But that's that one thing that people don't realize, that, well, how come it didn't happen? Because they wanted to leave. And we are not there to stop them from leaving. And then people say, well, why didn't you keep doing it? We stopped doing it because there were not nice people that started causing us issues. So we stopped doing it. So these things are, and we all have this. It's kind of crazy because we all have this power, these abilities that we can shift or change just about anything we choose. Really. However, in the ego mind, that's a challenge. That's a huge challenge because the ego mind, remember, is very insecure. Number one. Always wants to be in charge, always wants to be in control, always wants to be supervising, always wants. And it never is at peace. So when you're in ego mind, you say, I'm going to move myself out of ego mind. You go into a small meditation, you move into the now. Then you do your request or direction, asking. And it really truly is about all of us deciding to master our minds. Remember, the brain and the mind are two different things. The mind is an illusion. The brain is an illusion. So we master the mind. We direct it after a while through the heart mind. See, we master it and we direct it. We use it, but for things we desire. We had enough of us collectively. They call it 0-point energy, but you got 8.5 billion people on the planet. Let's say you have 9,000 people all together, all collectively, focusing on something, right? That we all collectively want to shift into a better frequency on the planet. So that involves 0-point energy. 0-point energy is when you have that collective of so many people out of the population of 8.5 billion. What is that? So let's say it's 9,000. It's usually 8,500, but it's, let's say, 9,000. And they focus, all of us focus on one key thing on the planet that we want to have shifted or changed better for everyone, okay? It will happen every single time. But the key is actually getting everybody physically together to do that. And not just once in a blue moon, but all the time. See, that commitment, that's the key, is for us to commit to it. Commitment means always. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out.
Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, focused on your breath rising and falling, relaxed into the body. For today, recognize a sacred aspect in everyone you meet. Feel that underneath their ego trip and hurricane of thoughts is a divine being waiting to be seen. Know that you are completely perfect, whole, and at peace at the core. Just do not think you are. Know you are. And at your core, you have the power to experience bliss anywhere and transcend any suffering that may occur. Be this divinity. It's as simple and sweet as recognizing that you are pure being. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, the following morning. We will return here Friday, April 4, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our Global Guided Meditation call, and after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our Reverse Aging Health call and all the rest. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's happening within you, nor outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.